Holy shit! Thanks. That was quick. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's just awesome. Thanks. Hi. I'm Arthur. The idea of undying servitude to an unseen god that has punishments ranging between being itchied for a couple months to you are now a pain-based instrument played by an uncaring demon, to most would seem a bit off-putting, dare I say, to pretty much everyone. If the carrot at the end of the chaos stick wasn't good enough to warrant that kind of punishment, then I suppose chaos wouldn't exactly be a problem in the setting now, would it? Yeah, being a chaos cultist sucks most of the time. If you're a Chaos Astartes, aka a Chaos Space Marine, then you're significantly better off. But for most people who aren't Chaos Astartes, being a cultist from the start kind of blows. Now you have to ask, why would it be worth it? The answer is pretty easy, actually, which is new for this channel. Because in the 40k setting, the gods actually listen, which is kinda neat. In other settings, the gods you would interact with are very nebulous, not particularly defined in their motives, and the boons they grant are usually small things. Any cleric in a D&D setting is like, I can cast these spells thanks to my devotion and faith in my god, ooh, when literally every other cleric has the exact same spell list. In 40k, it's actually like quite a bit different. If you do something for the god does something for you. Of course, there are diminishing returns for the same activities, but the general rule of thumb is if you put the work in, you get the reward out. A good example I like to use is for Khorne, the god of blood. Say you're an angry guy, and you don't much care for people. Pretty commonplace in the 40k world. You decide to listen to the intrusive thoughts for once, and actually go on a murder spree. If you devote the spree to Khorne, collect the skulls, and erect them in a cute little tower, congrats! You're probably going to be given some kind of funky power that will allow you to murder easier. Usually it's horns that can gore people, or extra muscle to rip people in half, or if you're worshipping Slaanesh, it's crab claws most of the time. But at the end of the day, you will be rewarded for doing the things the gods like. So what next? Easy! Do more! As you commit further and further atrocities in the name of one of the Chaos Gods, you will be given more and more blessings. Tentacles, claws, tentacles, wings, usually tentacles. You name it. It's probably on the table in terms of mutation. Which leads us to the end result. The final stage, which is what people truly aim for. Daemon Princehood, or just sometimes shortened to Demonhood. Even still, I should note, at the end, there is always a risk. With each gift a Chaos God gives you, there is always the chance that your body wouldn't exactly take to it well. Too many mutations doesn't exactly do a body good, so the unlucky few whom attempt to gain as many boons as possible without direction may find their body begin to twist and contort into a mass of swirling meat and tendrils. These beings are colloquially known as Chaos Spawn, which is one of the worst fates a cultist can go through, aside from being on the same planet as someone named Hanso. Say you don't actually turn into an angry meat man, and you impress one of the gods. Like, actually do something that furthers their causes and agendas. Congrats! You are now given the opportunity to have them raise your immortal soul and have it combined with the powers of this god. It is never explicitly stated how it happens, from what I've seen. They tend to use very vague terminology like, oh, you are elevated to immortal status now. The way I see it is through more of a scientific lens, where the god in question basically does something called transduction, which turns one form of energy into another, turning a mortal soul into a soul made of pure warp fuckery, which usually means their body is cast aside afterwards. Most demon princes get to choose their own appearance, from what I've seen, though their form often aligns with that of their gods. Khorne demon princes are fucking insane buff powerhouses carrying barbed axes covered in skulls. Slaaneshi demon princes usually reek of depravity with slender blades and brutal elegance, except for that one guy who's just a big guy. Silask is weird. Nurgle demon princes tend to look bloated and rotten and often are able to shrug off most damage. And Tzeentch demon princes can, for the most part, look like whatever the fuck they choose. Though it's usually blue and bird flavored, except for when it's pink and cosmic horror flavored. So what are the benefits of being a demon prince? Quite literally, immortality. None of that bullshit, oh, they can't die to conventional weapons, but they die to the magic silver weapons. Ooh. You can obliterate a demon prince down to the fucking atom, and they just respawn back in the warp and can come back in about like a month. Ankron, current demon prince of Khorne, apparently using bullshit hacks decreased his respawn timer to like, I don't know, 10 seconds. So he's wrecking shit wholesale right now. And when they blow him up inevitably, he just pops back into existence a few feet away, especially more angry. I think there's only a few people in the entire setting who can give demons what is referred to as true death. The most known example is the Sword of the Emperor, which can just remove them from existence if they're killed by it. Currently owned by the Lord of the Imperium, Rabute Gilliman. I know there was one person, I think from Inquisitor Martyr, who can murder demons with psychic abilities and have them not return to the warp. That's all that's coming to mind right now. There's probably more. Like, if we include, like, blanks, there's some weird shit going on with blanks that could probably fuck around with demons. With all that in mind, there is one major downside to being a demon prince. That is, technically, there's no going back anymore. You are at the whims of the god you chose. As a cultist, if you felt like this wasn't the path for you, sometimes you can just back out. It's not easy, but now, you are literally a fragment of your god. So if they ask you to do something, congrats, dude. You already chose to drown in the Kool-Aid, so you gotta do it. If you don't, they will just punish you almost immediately. Punishments usually range depending on the god, with Slaaneshi punishments tending to be especially rough from what I've seen. I know Mortarion, demon prince of Nurgle, was put into essentially a giant fucking jar for disobeying. To complicate things further, there has been cases of which all 4 Chaos Gods decide to work together and then elevate a person of great repute to Demon Prince status. The most notable one being, of course, Be'lakor, whom, although most likely not originally human, was a Demon Prince given gifts from all 4 gods. He is also one of the strongest entities in the entirety of the setting. Because no one god can control him, that means he is not subject to any kind of punishment if he goes against anyone's wishes. I do want to make a video on him at some point because I have a theory about this dickhead that needs a lot of elaboration on, and I don't want to detract from the point of this video, which is, being a demon prince has a lot of benefits, a few negatives, and many, many bright colors. To get to it, though, you have to do some pretty fucking horrid stuff. So maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. It's a case-by-case type deal. What do you think? Is it worth it to be a demon prince? And if so, which god do you think would be best to pledge to? Slaanesh seems, to have some high highs and some low lows, to put it lightly. Let me know in the comments. I tend to read them a lot and reply to a good chunk of them. There's a lot more of you fuckers around than I thought there would be by now, so it gets a little tough getting through all of them. Other than that, make sure to like and subscribe. I am aiming to have at least 2 to 3 videos out a week, aiming for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or just Monday and Wednesday until I start to feel like I'm withering to ash. I look forward to telling you all about Be'lakor, amongst other demon princes like Doombreed, whom, if I remember correctly, was literally 40k's equivalent of Genghis fucking Khan. Hi. I know I'm kind of ruining the bit here by doing a bit of a post-video bit, but I think I'm going to start doing outros, you know. I'm enjoying doing this kind of stuff, and, yeah, I'm glad that people seem to be really receptive of it. I have a list of videos in the works right now, and I'm curious as to how everybody's going to react to them. People seem to like Meet the Legions series that I'm doing right now to kind of show off the original 20 Legions, so I'm excited to do Iron Warriors because they're like one of my favorite Legions. So yeah, if you have any ideas or anything you'd like to see done, just let me know in the comments. I'll make sure to try to do them. Yeah, I appreciate you all coming and commenting and liking my stuff. It's really nice to kind of get my thoughts out there and see how people feel. It's pretty easy to do these videos, but I feel like if I keep going the way that I'm going, I'm going to run out of topics really quick. Thanks for watching. I'm going to start putting my social media accounts in the descriptions of these videos. I don't do much on them, but if you guys want to follow me there, I tend to post video updates there from time to time to like 100 people, so there's that. I'm also going to link to the guy who did my avatar, like my profile picture. He did this like so long ago and I've been meaning to get it updated, but he's a very talented artist. Make sure to follow him. But yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, also, Daniel from Total Warhammer 3 is hot as fuck.